Well, hey, and welcome to the Becoming Better podcast. My name's Nate, and I'm so glad you're here. Well, on today's episode, Jason, Josh, and I sit down and we discuss last Sunday's message. If you haven't listened to last Sunday's message, I want to encourage you to stop here and give that a listen, as that will help make this conversation make more sense to you. Well, without further ado, we hope you enjoy this conversation. How's it going, guys?
Happy Monday, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
We got the crew back.
Guess who's back?
The OG podcast.
Yeah,
Really not
okay.
the OG. The OG would be Brendan,
Yeah.
but this is kind of the OG. This is second version, 2.0.
This is like 3.0. It was me and Kenny way back in the
was,
day.
yeah.
We did Facebook Lives back
Yeah.
in the day.
Oh, yeah, I remember doing one of those. That was a terrible idea. I'm not going to tell you when we did it because I don't want to stir the pot here of our listeners, but
Yeah.
I caught a lot of things in that Facebook Live. Let me tell you that.
Those were,
That
we
was a
did those
fun
like
one.
7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It was a long time
I'm
ago.
so glad we don't do video.
We've
Man.
upgraded. It's crazy thinking about you two in front of the iMac
Yeah.
recording what was it called?
So what?
So what?
So what? That's
And then we
right.
moved into the auditorium,
Yeah.
and then we turned into a podcast.
Yeah.
So now we're
With Romans is when we started doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And it was all based off of like, there's no way we're going to be able to preach through Romans and actually have enough time to say everything we need to say. That's literally.
yeah. And now we doubled down with Luke. We're like, we're just gonna
keep going.
ride it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we just kept going.
So,
People actually kept listening. So it's been cool to be a part of. I'm sorry, guys. I've been busy and just life going on and just new roles or taking on roles. So I haven't been on here. So all you people who've missed me, my apologies. Those of you who probably are like, glad Josh guy's not on anymore. You have to
He's back.
endure. You have to endure this week. So we're back.
Yeah.
So what good banter do you have for me, Nate?
Nothing good today.
Oh.
I know. I was slacking today.
Well, we did have something from the week that happened. I know a lot of you probably signed up for Jason's online giving portal
Come on.
that he sent out. Bro, you've been hacked like 6 times.
Yeah, but this was the worst. Like this was like legit. So I had more people reach out to me on this one than any of them. Like there's been several.
It was like official looking.
It was PDFs and Adobe, and like people were trying to click the thing. My father-in-law sent me an email. Hey, I tried to respond to your thing and it got deleted. So if you want to and so I mean, it's like,
Dang.
it's
So if you click the link from Jason, I just would probably tell you, you should probably just check your computer for some malware. It's probably got a few things.
And change all your passwords.
And change all your passwords. Jason was.
it
in
was
Google,
more than just changing passwords. Like
Jason
we had
been
to.
in Google jail for a while.
I have. I've been put in Google jail. Everything had to be deleted. Like our IT guy that we pay money to do all of this stuff. When this happened on Thursday, we reached out and he's been trying to get this taken care of for 4 days. And he had to wait for Google. Like he was doing stuff with Google. It wasn't just something, I'll just change the password and we'll fix. No.
That's true.
It was, he's been in contact with the mothership up in Northern California trying to get this thing figured out, and it took him 4 days. So it was legit. I don't know what they did or how they did it, but
This
again,
one did again. So the first time that it happened, probably, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 months ago, it was like the Nigerian
Yes.
prince scam.
Yeah.
Yep.
That Ken and Jason were like, hey, send me the Apple gift card. And that was another one like
I'm
that.
in a meeting. God's blessing be upon you and thou children.
It was like, Jason don't talk like that, right? So it's crazy is, so this one, me and Brett and Jason were in an email thread, and I didn't realize that his email had been turned off. And so I sent him something, and it grabbed that email and replied with a random email. And I was like, what is happening? And so this was even after his email was blocked. You weren't even able to access it anymore. It grabbed an email and responded. And so, yeah, if you got Jason's link and you clicked it, you may just want to throw that computer away. Just toss it, man.
We'll just keep saying it. I'm never going to do that. I'm
Yeah.
never going to invite
Ever.
you to send me money or send a gift card or click a thing unless I tell you ahead of time it's not from us.
Yeah.
But
Right.
we do
That's a
have
good
people
point.
who are, man, they are out to get us. Like they are scammers and they are scammy.
Oh,
Like,
they're good. This one was a good one.
They
'Cause
were
it had
in
his
it.
real email on the bottom. Like his legit email was
Oh,
on
yeah.
the very bottom. It said Jason P at Quad City. And so I was like, man, they put his real email address on there.
Somebody
I
put
was-
some work in.
Yeah, this one was a good one.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about. Like again, these sweet old ladies who Jason been pastoring for like 18
Yeah.
years. They're like, he needs it. Oh yeah, I'll
Done.
do it.
Send it.
I saw it and was like, oh, spam. Here we go again. And I got a bunch of texts too. But I was like, I get it. This is coming from like Chase.
Yeah.
Like nobody
cares.
Delete,
No.
dude. So
Yeah.
so we have a new resident on the team, Campbell, and she's been sending out emails for our Becoming Better, which is our new believers kind of trying to figure out how to be a better disciple. So she was sending out the emails, and I was asking the class, I was like, hey, did everybody get the email? And they were like, no, I didn't get it. I was like, that's really weird. It says you got the email. Well, I was like, it's from one of our young staff members, Campbell. It's like, oh, I just deleted it. I didn't know who that was. Right? So they just delete it. But
Yeah.
Good.
if they see Jason, they're like, oh, they instantly believe
Yep.
it. Like it doesn't matter what it says. It is
And the
instantaneous.
people that it got sent to was just nuts. I don't know how there were people that weren't in my contact list. There was a family that I knew from Rochester, Illinois. Literally, I haven't seen this family. They came and visited us in like 2010. Like I haven't seen this family in 15 years. No communication whatsoever.
Yeah.
And he responds back and says, he calls the church office actually. He called the
Really?
church
Dang.
and says, hey, I got this email from Jason. Is this
Wow.
It's just nuts who responded to this thing. Like the most random people. 6 or 7 states last I was counting of people who reached out and said, hey, I got this. It looks funny. Is this a real deal?
I always assume it's all, again, to your point, is like, we even did a giving thing, but it was like, it was handwritten letters and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was that, and it was like, hey, this is coming. Want you to know you'll be getting this,
Yes.
and you can go access it here.
Yeah.
Right? Never the Apple gift card is always, but the Adobe thing, it did feel,
It
felt
very
real. Yeah, so way to go, Jason.
apologize to all of you. If any of you got that, we are doing our dead level best to try to alleviate this from happening again. So our IT team is on it. And they're professional IT. It's not like Kellen in a closet. We're not doing that. It's not IT. These are paid professionals who do this. Who do this every day.
I just imagine Kellen plugging wires and plugging them like a
Try this
radio.
one.
Radio.
He's probably still listening in Kansas going, man, take a shot. Or Eloise is listening like, Kellen, they's making fun of you,
Yeah,
baby.
we're not
Honey,
going back.
yeah, we're never going
We're
back
going
to
somewhere
that
else
place
for
now.
Thanksgiving. We're not going back for Thanksgiving.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
So this last week, let's jump in. Josh, you were speaking, and we ended our 4-week series on the good soil.
It really did become a series within a series.
Yeah.
I heard our own
Series.
people saying that.
It was a mini series.
Yeah. So, so Jason, you were off platform this last weekend.
Yeah.
Where'd you get to watch?
In my car. I was doing a little traveling, driving back, and had Josh on my windshield
Nice.
watching the service. And it was great. It was a great wrap up to this series, great wrap up to this parable. And, the thing that stood out to me as you were preaching again was the emphasis on the retain. Like you made that a point of emphasis. And I thought that was the thing that, again, there's so much good stuff there, but what does it look like to retain the word that is in us? Not just let it, you did a great job of painting the picture. The enemy comes and snatches it away. The second one, they fall away. The third, it gets crowded out. But the good soil retains the word. And so that's the word that I just kept rolling around in my head yesterday. What does it look like to retain, to hang on to this word in our life? Like, that's what the good soil does.
Yeah, and it's a great reminder of, like, I feel like as Americans, we are blessed to have safety. But it's the great reminder of, like, we're in a fight. And we have to hold on to it. And
dude, I mean, that's what Jason, again, he said it week 1. It's so true.
Yep.
This is not a peacetime endeavor.
That's right.
Every time we do this, every time we talk about this, every single time we do, every time, and not just we, but that was the thing, is like every time our people share the good news, it's a battle.
Yeah.
Like you're fighting a war. To your point, is we don't even think about it that way. I had a guy that just reminded, he came up, he goes, man, thanks for reminding me about the devil. I just forget. He's, a new believer. And I forget that sometimes it is the enemy who wants me to lose. Again, your statement last week, still ringing in my head. Well, what if it's actually the enemy who's giving you all this? Because he tried everything else and it didn't work.
Yep.
So actually, I'm going to give you this because I know this will take you down. It's just like the wild, like when you think, but we get uncomfortable, I think, when we talk about this.
For sure.
Because it becomes really real.
Yeah.
Or we skew the other way that the devil made me do it, right? Like, again, just trying to find that healthy balance. But I've been sitting with that, and, you're saying that, and then week 1, just Jason being like, man, no, this is what, anytime this thing is declared, it's a fight.
Yeah.
It's a fight for everything. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't work because it is the enemy. Like that's the other part that just is, it's hard also to, kind of wrestle with.
Yeah. So Josh, if we would have given you a few extra minutes, is there anything else you would have added?
Yeah. It's interesting. I had a part and nobody even on staff saw, right? So I pulled it out before we even got there. But just the idea that some of the seeds produce 100-fold. Actually, somebody came up to me and they were talking about that. They were like, hey, what does that mean? Like, it's just so interesting. The idea that I was running down was this thought around, a tomato seed. It produces a plant that and I think of tomatoes because everybody does tomatoes, right? Like, I know Nana has some probably on the back porch.
Yes,
Yeah. It's like
I talk negatively about her plants all the time.
I know.
Because I say, listen, I'm paying $48 in water for $6 worth of tomatoes. That's what we're doing right now. What are we doing?
But that little seed is wild. Produces 30 pounds of tomatoes, if it can produce 30 pounds. And just thinking through how God plants these seeds that produce not just like fruit in my life in the harvest, but in my kids and my wife.
Yeah.
And again, man, like, and the example I use is like, Jason and I are blessed from the same place in the same town. Dude, I mean, honestly, man, it's a bunch of factory workers and farmers. Like, it's a bunch of people who have never left Mercer County. Yet these people, like, through the seed, and it went in and it's grown, and like and he's been all over the world and got to tell people about Jesus. Because these people just broadcasted this seed. Just a bunch of nobody, like just regular folks. And it's grown and it's produced, not because of me, but because of what God has done. Like that was, I sat with that for just a really long time. I didn't have time. But I just kept thinking like, man, this is what he means. Is sometimes this crop, it will grow. And I was telling the guy, he came to me at Connection Point. I was like, man, and honestly, that's you too.
Yeah.
Like you have an opportunity to have a crop that grows into your kids and your kids' friends and your grandkids. Like, man, God has an incredible opportunity to do something really amazing. We all have this. And so it just, that for me was a personal piece of like thinking, man, it really does what that one seed that somebody throws, what it can do is like life-changing.
Yeah.
And so I was super grateful just thinking about all those people who just kept throwing that stuff on me. And sometimes it hit. Sometimes the soil was still hard. even though like that's the part that I don't know if we ever got into is like I was a believer, we'll say that, but there was time people were throwing that seed and it was super hard. That path had become
Your heart was hard.
I was hard,
Yes.
but I had said yes to Jesus. But then my life had begun to move in a direction that I was making choices that word was just hitting and bouncing off. And then, man, that's the other piece. Tim, one of our elders, said that. He goes, "The soil you're in, you don't have to stay there. Like God can do something in you." And that's what I was thinking about. Like, man, that's so true. Because when I was like 17. It probably felt like wasted time. I was just sitting and boom. I wasn't doing anything like God said. I wasn't trying to live that way. Right? I was a hard path that there was no way that word wasn't growing anything.
Yeah.
And then God begins to change and gets a hold of you and cultivate and does all this stuff. So just a great parable. I'm glad, Jason, 5 weeks ago, I remember when that was, you felt like we needed to change and spend a week in all of these. Super helpful. I think it was very needed. And yeah, I think our people, appreciated it and being able to see ourselves in the third one is your conviction. I'm still just sitting with it from last week. It's just that's where we all are.
Mm-hmm. In this culture, in American culture.
I think until we get to the end, it's that one that's going to take us out, right?
Yeah, because the enemy is throwing. Again, I'm convinced that the third and the fourth are both good soil. I'm convinced they're both good soil. Like when you have the seed and the good stuff grows, but so does the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it has room to grow. It is producing something. The enemy throws seed too. Again, there's a whole nother parable. I'm not even sure if Luke gets into it, but there's a whole nother parable about the enemy coming and throwing seed among the wheat, like they're the wheat and the tares.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm convinced that both 3 and 4 are good soil. But 3 didn't do the work to maintain, to persevere, to keep pulling, doing the hard things of getting the weeds, getting the thorns out of the soil. It has the capacity to grow good fruit. That's what 3 does. 3 has that capacity. It just gets crowded out. And so I think even those of us who are good fruit, or good soil, have the potential to let the weeds overrun us.
And to your point, it like all the way up until the end. Mm-hmm. That's why this again, just like it could be 75 and could take you out.
Yeah.
It's why, like, that's the part that makes that warning so dangerous, because none of that stuff, the riches and the pleasure, they're not going anywhere.
No.
And the lure to those is always strong.
And it's just getting stronger because for many people, as they get older, what do they have? They have a little more time. They have a little more resources.
More equity,
that stuff. I'm not tied to a job. I can go pursue different pleasures. The things that the world tells us is the pinnacle oftentimes becomes more in focus. Like, that's what my life's about now, is chasing after these things.
Because when you're 20,
no, you ain't got no time or money.
I can't even think about getting to that level.
We're not doing European river cruises at 24.
Going to Gatlinburg, baby. Going to Dollywood.
And hope you can remember it on Monday.
That's it. But again, that has been the one that is, stayed with me so much, is the second one Jason and I talked about too is interesting. Just how many people do we know that have been that?
Oh,
way more than I want to even try to think about. But it just is like for me, every time he taught, just again, because I just, until this week, just sitting on it, like there's real people who pop in my head and I'm like, oh, that man, I remember that person. Yeah, they would be that. And again, I can identify to go, I was one of these in these seasons.
Yep.
This was me, and so.
And luckily the sower didn't stop sowing.
That's it.
Right? somebody else came along later and threw it again and threw it again and threw it again. And eventually God did a work and the soil changed. Like God did something in our heart. And so that's what we got to keep pursuing.
So it gives us hope. But yeah, again, because I don't want people to leave of like no hope. It is hopeful to think, oh yeah, that's right. It's stern warnings, but also that this is the work of God and that we can hold on and do the parts that we're left to do. And at the end of the day, if we do what we're called to do, God is faithful to do what he says he will do.
Yeah.
And that's the piece of this. God says he's going to do this thing.
Yep.
Do we think the farmer in the story knew that some of the soil was some of the seed was going on the path?
Yeah.
100%. And he threw it anyway. Did he think some of it was going into the thorns? Absolutely. And he threw it anyway in the hope that it would eventually take root. And, all of us have had that season where we've walked through that and it took root. And again, now we have to do some work. And so, I don't know, you may want to just talk about the verse we talked about in our time this morning.
Yeah, that persevering piece is.
That perseverance piece is huge. Like, that's the thing that stood out to me about this parable. When I first prepared to preach it is
wrote it all as one sermon. How you think we were getting through this in one sermon?
Nope.
We spent literally 140 minutes, and he thought we were going to do this in one. Yeah, he did a good job of trimming stuff out, but the first time we read past one, it was like, I don't know what you cut.
Yeah,
I literally don't do an intro. I don't know what you cut. It's crazy how much. And then the other side, it was like, are we going to be able to get a whole sermon out of just the one seed? Soil?
Yeah.
And we did.
No, it wasn't a problem.
It wasn't even hard.
It wasn't even
hard.
But I think some of us, we get this idea that if you're the good soil, it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
That the seed's going to fall and it's going to blossom in your life. It's just going to be rainbows and unicorns and fruit aplenty. But it's not. Even the good soil, that was the thing. Even the good soil, how did it produce? The text says, with perseverance, it produced 100 times. With perseverance. It didn't happen easily. Perseverance, the very definition of perseverance is you have to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. That's the only thing. The only reason you ever need perseverance is when you want to quit. Again, I say it all the time. Nobody has to persevere in their doom scrolling. You don't have to. You don't have to persevere in your potato chip eating habit.
Nope, that's easy.
Yeah, it's so easy. You don't have to persevere. Nobody. Man, but to produce fruit in your faith, to see that seed come to fruition, it's work.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen. Even for the good soil. That was the part that I just kept coming back to. Even for the good soil, you have to persevere. You just got to keep going.
Yeah. And so, I just read four scriptures that talk about perseverance. That's it. It is the theme. Yeah. It is the theme throughout the Old Testament because God knew we needed these reminders. And all the gospel writers and the epistle writers, New Testament, they all knew that this is what you had to have.
Yeah.
Again, just four ones that popped into my head of and I think and that's the retain piece for me is I got to hold on to those. So when I get into those seasons, that's what I'm reminding myself of. Because again, when I'm in those seasons, I do want to quit.
Yeah.
It's hard. I got a couple emails today. I had a lady yesterday at Pastor's, Connection Point was telling me that too. She was just I wanted to quit with my kids because they just don't believe. They actually are opposed to this. And I want to stop throwing seed. Yeah. It feels wasteful.
Yep.
And so you begin to, she's like, what have I done wrong? And it's just that you just want to not keep, and so that's real. That is so real. I know so many people in our midst that have kids who are adults who there is no faith for their kids and they question themselves and I've done all this wrong and it's worthless if I keep tossing the seed. But to your point, the farmer just keeps throwing.
He knew.
Just keep throwing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, because I think parents go the opposite. Oh, I can't say anything. I don't want to offend them. I don't want to, you know what I mean? We kind of, it's easy. Me, I always say, right now, it's super easy. My kids are 5 to 13. They have to listen to me.
Yep.
They don't get an option. But 32, I get it. You just want Thanksgiving to be peaceful.
Yep.
You probably don't say nothing.
Yep.
But she's also thinking like her own's like, man, I've done something wrong, so I might as well just quit.
Yeah.
She's like, I needed to be a reminder that I got to keep going. I got to keep throwing that thing.
And it's not even, it gets even worse. It's not just about Thanksgiving. It's about the grandkids.
Yeah.
Like if I keep walking this path, they're going to cut me off and I won't get to see my grandkids.
Yeah.
And so I've heard those stories and I've seen those tears.
It's real.
Oh, it is very real.
Real.
There's
Super real.
there's a whole lot of people who have cut their parents off. And, you know, it's a phenomenon that's happening in our culture now to a degree that we've never seen it before. I think there's a little bit of therapy culture that needs to be undone because of that. But that's a whole different podcast that we can talk about.
Oh, boy.
But it's a very real thing. And so, but I would just encourage you, if that's you, you got to keep doing it, if nothing else, for the sake of the grandkids. Like if you're not throwing seed into that grandchild's life, who is?
Yeah.
Where else are they going to get it if mom and dad have walked away? Like for the sake of those grandkids, you can't quit. You have to persevere. Yeah, so it's hard.
But not easy. Again, that's what I know. Just hopefully people heard that. I'm not trying to diminish anything people are going through, or even trying to say that I get it or understand. I recognize there are people who are walking through just an incredible, man, life is heavy. The illnesses and the sickness and all the stuff, man. And again, just want people to know, like, God actually knew that this was going to come and gave us promises to remember and cling to in these moments. And so that's what, like, I don't know how else you get through that stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you can't have Jason's knowledge of the word. And that's why somebody came up to me and asked, like, man, Josh, I can't remember all that. I go, I didn't tell you to memorize the Bible.
No.
Just find one. It is always your thing that I can go to that be like, oh, this is my thing, right?
Yep.
You know, this is the thing that I cling to and I hold on to. And it may change in season, but yeah, you don't need to recite the Isaiah 56.
Yeah.
It's not helpful.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to know something. You at least got to know some of the promises.
Yeah. But I think you just keyed in on something there, like the together piece, like having other people. And we had a comment that came in that kind of helped reinforce that idea that we've been talking about a little bit. But we had a comment from one of our esteemed listeners.
Yeah. So this was from, where is it? This is from Daniel Hunt. And he says, this is not a question, but an Indiana farmer observation. The farmer spreads good corn seed in a large area in good soil. That corn comes up tall and strong, producing a great corn harvest. This is nothing that hasn't been said before. However, the serious need to grow tall and strong corn is to grow large, dense field blocks of corn. When you have a large, dense field block, this creates a canopy effect, where the corn plants lean on and support each other from heavy gusts of wind during the storms of life. We need each other, the involved church block family, to help support one another through those storms of life. Standing alone is possible, but this becomes difficult when the storms of life comes our way. We need each other. As a church family, we encourage one another and build each other up. We are better together. And then he quotes, he has Galatians 6:2, 1 Thessalonians 5:11, and Ecclesiastes 4:9 through 12.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, we could say that across the board on all of these, whether it was the suffering, whether it's the weeds, whatever, having other people in our life, being able to lean on one another. And we see this pattern, what he's talking about with corn is true, with trees, with like there are whole species of trees that interlock their roots, and when one of them goes down, you literally can keep another tree alive off the roots of the first tree. Like they support each other and they're able to provide and to connect and to hold each other up. Like so the interlocking, whether it's in the canopy or in the roots or just standing side by side over and over and over again, like that is what gives us the ability to hang on, to keep going, to prosper together. So, great observation, Daniel. It's something we just keep trying to hammer. And again, we do it when we don't need it so that we have it when we do. Like that's the thing that we just got to keep reminding ourselves of.
Yeah.
He says, standing alone is possible.
Yep.
But it ain't wise.
Yeah.
It's not wise.
Yeah.
Can you? And yeah, but it's probably the worst idea.
Yep.
Right? It's just not, it's not helpful. Can you do it for a season? Maybe.
Yep.
But you're not going to come out of there without some scars and be damaged and have some war. You know what I mean? Like, so even that, right? Because that too is the other lie. Our culture is like, I don't need anybody. I got this.
Right.
I can do this by myself, all that stuff. And so it is just a really dangerous mindset that the enemy allows us to have, to think, oh, I got this.
You got yourself here.
Yeah, you got yourself here. You can get yourself through it.
Yep.
I don't need anybody. They wouldn't understand anyways. Even if you told them, they wouldn't get it. They wouldn't understand what you're really going through and why you got to do what you know what I mean? There are all these things we try to convince ourselves of. And so eventually, yeah. So I tell people all the time when I'm usually sitting in some kind of pastoral counseling, it's just reminding people of this. Like, we need people. Like, wolves don't hunt. They always pick the weak one off and attack it by itself. They don't attack it in the whole pack. That's crazy. Oh, man, they circle around it and kind of just – and our enemy is a lion looking to devour people. And he's not going to do that when I'm strong with a whole bunch of people, right? He's going to try to get me when I'm alone.
Yep.
When I'm tired, and that's why I think the suffering part or the persevering part is so real, because it is when you're tired and you're exhausted and you're ready to get. It's just so much easier. Those lies are so much louder.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah. I just might as well. I just quit and give up. And so, so standing alone, while yes, you're right, Daniel, possible, it for sure becomes difficult. Even when life is good, I think it's a bad, a really bad idea. So definitely better together, almost as if that's a core value of Quad City.
There's an old line, right? I probably have shared this before. You know, the old adage, if you want to run fast, run alone. If you want to run far, run together. And we're in a marathon. It's not a sprint. Like that finish line, I mean, I'm 30 years in it. And how long are you in this thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a long trip. Like we got to keep on going and keep on going. This is not a quick sprint. It is
there's a lot of
marathon.
off ramps to this thing.
Yeah.
Boy, there's a lot. There's the warnings of like, woof.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities for me to jump off this road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New ones pop up all the time. New opportunities to be like, all right, see you later. You know, and so.
Which you just saying that reminded me of the book Pilgrim's Progress. Like,
oh, yeah.
I don't know if do you know Pilgrim's Progress?
No.
Oh, Nate.
It's lengthy.
Is it?
Oh, it's an allegory. For those of you who haven't read it, I made my elders read it about
John
Bunyan.
Yeah, John Bunyan, yeah.
It's 400 years old. Like this book is. I don't know. It's like in the 1600s or something. You can probably find that out for us. You can go online and you can find it. It's,
Probably in the
1678.
1678. So 350 years old. Like it's a classic if there ever was one. Like this, it's an amazing, amazing book.
Did you read it in Dutch?
I did not read it in
Okay.
Dutch. I read
come on, Jay.
the revised English version, but I made my elders read it, and I had a couple of them that they just hated it. They just thought it was the worst. I won't throw them under the bus, John Kevin. But they would skip our group because we were going through this book and they didn't want to do. They hated it, but it's a classic. Everybody ought to read it at least once.
That's a good book.
But it is the story of a guy named Christian trying to make it to the end, and all of the characters and all of the pitfalls that are part of the journey along the way. If you haven't read it yet, you should go read. Pilgrim's Progress, and you just begin to see, oh yeah, there's a lot of ways to mess this up, and how do we get to the end? And we see in this story some people who join him on the journey and then fall away. People who join him on the journey and then it got too hard and they got scared and they went back. Like all of the things that we see in this parable get played out in this book. I mean, it's really, really good. So
It's interesting. It reminds me of the C.S. Lewis Great Divorce.
Yeah.
Yep.
From what you've mentioned.
Yeah.
Of like,
I just
he
listened to
gets
that.
up there and people go back and so.
Yeah, I was just listening to that not too long ago.
Yeah.
Again, on audiobook with a British guy. It was really good. It was really good.
I'll have to do that.
Really,
Yeah.
really interesting. Yeah. But no, you're right, man. And so again, we hold on and we trust. And again, it's not fear. I don't think Jesus tells us this to make us fearful in a way.
Yeah.
But it is just a good reminder. And for those of us who are in Christ, you got to work at this.
Yeah.
Like you got to trust that His grace is good and that He's gracious and has provided all that we need through His Spirit to help us get to the end. But it does take. I got to make some choices.
You threw out the word fear. Immediately, my mind went to work out your salvation with fear and trembling.
Yeah.
For it is He who works in you to will and to act according to His purpose. For it is God who works in you to will and to act. So it is both of these. And we hold them in tension. Like, I am commanded to work out my salvation with fear and trembling. And then the very next line, for God is working in us to will and to act according to His good purpose. It is both and. We're hanging on to Him. He's hanging on to us. And that's how we get it to the end.
Yeah, for sure.
So good. Well, we hope you guys have a good week, and we're excited to continue on in our Luke series. We'll see you guys Sunday.